So today we're going to be talking about some pretty big, I guess you could say news. I want to say shout out to the actual CC. Basically, bro did some testing with Gunslinger to like show that essentially when you put Gunslinger on a quarterback, it basically makes it to where every quarterback has the exact same release. So let's say, for example, right, I got Gunslinger on Warren Moon and Gunslinger on Michael Vick. Well, guess what? The releases are the exact same. So let's say without Gunslinger, I'm trying to think of a quarterback's release that sucks. I don't really know what releases suck, but let's say RG3, for example, right? Let's say we're comparing RG3's release, which is Gen 2, to Mike Vick's release, Slinger 1. Obviously, Mike Vick's release is much faster than RG3's, just like straight up. But when you equip Gunslinger, essentially what it will do is it'll make it to where let's say Mike Vick's release is the threshold release. When I say threshold, I mean like it's the release you want. That's the release you want. RG3 puts Gunslinger on. I don't want to say he has Mike. The look of it's not Mike Vick's. The look of it is not Mike Vick's release, but the speed of it will be the exact same. So when you put Gunslinger on, everyone's release is the same. Now I'm gonna play this clip with CC so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Save you guys some coins and stop this pesky quarterback release. Who has the best release? Which release matters? I don't like this guy's release. Now we went to the film, boys, and we figured it all out. What do I mean by that? Well, we've recently had a few different quarterbacks come out. Some people say is the best. They had the best release in the game. Others ones they don't like it. Well, what happens when you put Gunslinger on a card? Yeah, a lot changes actually. What we're gonna see here is Tua Tagovailoa's new card with Gunslinger and Andrew Luck's new card with Gunslinger. Everyone loves Andrew Luck's card, but we're gonna watch here. We're gonna see these throws with Gunslinger. Very interesting. Did you catch that? Over here, I'll actually go frame by frame for you to see that as soon as they light up, they both light up at the same frame. Here we keep going frame by frame by frame by frame by frame. And when does the ball come out of their hands? One of them has a much better release. And oh my God, the ball is out at the exact same time for both of them. What does this mean? It truly means that when you equip Gunslinger to a card, it basically negates and changes the release points and the release times for these quarterbacks and kind of just makes them all even here. Again, we have one which is timed better without Gunslinger versus the other one. Andrew Luck's ball should have got out faster, but it didn't at all. It literally got out at the exact same time. When we go frame by frame and it's 60 frames per second game, the math is there. The proof is there. Guys, if you want a good quarterback, put Gunslinger on him. Don't worry about the other stuff. You've been listening to people. They've been wrong. Sorry, they've been wrong. Boys, you don't have to go spend overly on some cards here. Just got to do a little bit of research and dig into things. What we're here for, boys.
So now that you see what I'm talking about, basically what Gunslinger does is it almost like has its own release. Gunslinger is like almost its own release. So when you put it on your quarterback, that's like kind of the release you get. If that makes any sense. Now you don't really have to worry about anymore if you're let's say the quarterback that let's say Jalen Hurts comes out and you're like, yeah, I want to get Jalen Hurts. Now you don't have to worry about anymore. Well, does his release suck? Because with Gunslinger, he's going to get that set release that basically comes with Gunslinger. Even though he obviously he has to meet the threshold, but pretty much at this point, every quarterback that's coming out is getting it. Like Tua and Trevor Lawrence. You're supposed to have 90 throw power. That's supposed to be the threshold to get Gunslinger. If you look on MudGG, that's literally what it says. They don't even have it. They have 89 throw power and they're getting it. So at this point, every QB coming out is getting Gunslinger. Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's kind of a good thing because, I mean, you know what I mean? There's so many cards we've seen messed up because they're like, remember, I think it was Madden 22. Michael Vick's quarterback card sucked because he had literally one of the worst releases in the game, which that's terrible. Now, right, you don't have to worry about something like that anymore. Now, you can still use his true release if you want to. Let's say you don't like his release and you're like, I don't really like it, then you can just throw in Gunslinger and essentially you're kind of changing his release in a way. Personally, I'm not really mad at something like this because, like I said, a lot of cards have gotten messed up because they just give them a terrible release for whatever reason. You still don't have to use, you know, the Gunslinger if you don't want to. If you like the quarterback's release just how it is, you don't have to. Let me know what you guys think about this. Personally, I don't really have a problem with it. Some people are gonna probably think, well, how do I know if I should use Gunslinger on a card and if I shouldn't? For one, if you go in and practice and this guy's a release, you're just like, okay, this release is slow, then you throw the slinger on. But then it's also like, when is the time for me not to throw slinger on? Is there a certain release where I just shouldn't throw Gunslinger on? Truthfully, I don't even really know what the best like releases are in the game. I know I've heard people say that Lamar's release is like the best. And then I think Burrows is like a really good. I'm going to continue to use Gunslinger on Vic just because I'm not a big Slinger 1 guy. I'm not the craziest about it. So, I mean, I guess if you want to save AP and you like your quarterback's release and you just don't feel like you need to use Gunslinger, then, I mean, I guess you could. I mean, past Maddens, I want to say it was like Madden 22. I didn't even use Gunslinger. I think I ran like Pass Elite, Fearless, and Hot Route Master. I didn't even use the Gunslinger part. Then honestly, for a lot of Madden 23, I didn't even use Gunslinger. Like I would run Fearless, Pass Elite, and then honestly just straight like that. And I was saving AP. I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys going to continue to find you a quarterback where you don't need Gunslinger? Are you going to continue to use Gunslinger? What is your takeaway from this? Honestly, my takeaway is, I don't know, man. I might, I was going to say I was going to give Mike Vick a try with no Gunslinger, but the thing is, I actually hate Slinger 1 release, and he has Slinger 1, so it's like, oh, well, that's terrible. Okay, so I thought I'd throw this in the video real quick. They literally just tweeted out the Season 2 cards coming out. So I was like, hey, we might as well throw this in here. So, this is what it's looking like. Randy Moss looking like he's gonna be the master. We got an Aaron Donald, Jason Kelsey, an Eagle, Michael Parsons, and Travis Kelsey. I would assume, I guess Randy Moss is kind of like how Reggie White was, and then I would assume, I think it is Aaron Donald. Okay, and the reason why is because if you look at Randy Moss and Aaron Donald, they both have that little B&D thing, and Randy Moss is gonna be like I say, he's gonna be like Reggie White, where he probably gets one more upgrade. And then Aaron Donald is probably the one you can upgrade through the whole thing. So Jason Kelsey is probably going to be one of the first level rewards, which, hey, it's an Eagle. Can't complain. Just we know we got an Eagle coming Thursday. That's pretty much going to do it for this video, though, boys. If you guys enjoyed this video, man, drop a little like. And I will see you boys tonight on stream.